You know, I really had no idea what Tesla had planned for this year's holiday update. But now that the holiday update is here, I can say, yeah, I definitely think Tesla really cooked with this one. A lot of features that I didn't even know was possible or that I would have even thought of, along with, honestly, a bunch of like little hidden features and undocumented changes. We're about to move to the 3 to talk about all the main changes, but I just wanted to go ahead and get S and X out of the way here. I see comments, people that own S and X's are now watching me for, you know, this type of stuff. So I want to include you guys first. And yeah, to no one's surprise, we're getting shafted. There are multiple features in this holiday update that S and X owners just straight up don't get. First up, I have the release notes pulled up here. And as you can see, if you kind of already know what's in the holiday update, yeah, there's no paint shop, which I'm honestly pretty bummed about, considering that the color changer here on S and X is like kind of broken. If you go into the colorizer, you'll see here that I have this set for like a straight matte black, but then it looks like this on the screen. But then if I go into my Tesla app on my phone here, I don't have wheels, and I haven't had wheels now for a few weeks. I don't know why that's happening, but it's like, this is not the same color that's here. Like, this is gray and this is black. But if I set this right here to like be really, really black, as you can see right here, it gets a little bit darker, then it just looks too black on this one. Really excited for that for this reason, because I was hoping S and X, you know, this would finally fix the weird color discrepancy between the app and the car, but no, we don't even get it. The other thing that we don't get is actually phone left behind notifications. You'll see here when these release notes load, we have phone left on wireless charger. So we get that, but we don't get the phone left behind. Keep in mind, these cars have the ultra wideband support. In fact, the S and X got ultra wideband before any other Tesla did. So I assume give it a few months and we'll have both those features. But for right now, on launch, we don't get them. However, we do have 2 hidden features for S and X that's not mentioned in any of the release notes. First up is the new Unreal Engine like visualization. I did not know that P1 and P2 S and X owners did not have this. Apparently it was exclusive to P3, what my car is, for like the past 6 or so months, ever since the new S and X came out. And now P2 and up get it. I don't think P1 gets it, but I do know P2s get it. And then the other hidden change, they put the ride height in the controls. And if you don't know, controls is the default tab. So now instead of having to press the icon here and then go into dynamics to change your suspension height, it's now right here in controls. This is really good for on-the-fly adjustments. But now let's hop into the 3 to talk about everything else and all those other hidden features. And you know, actually real quick, I just realized that 3 and Y have a get to know your Tesla option in the manual, where S doesn't have that. It only has the owner's manual and the release notes. And before people comment it, yes, I did chip my screen protector right here. Once again, my screen protector saving my screen. I have this little key organizer, and the keys kind of like flew out and collided. I was trying to throw it into my center console. I was from like the outside of the car and it clipped my screen. Also, I'm trying to make sure that the screen mount is straight for you guys. There we go. I think that's about right. Yeah, I'll have the screen mount and screen protector linked down below. So first up is going to be Grok with navigation commands. I was honestly a little confused that this wasn't part of the initial Grok release, as it just made so much sense, but it's finally here. And you can list like multiple places all within like the same sentence, string them together in whatever order you want, tell Grok what order you want to go, and it'll put it in there in the correct order. This will be really handy for road trips and just visiting cities and towns that you've not been to before. Also, when you're on a road trip or maybe you got to stop and use the bathroom before your next charging stop, you did have the option to go into the search bar and it would say search along your route, but now you can just say the closest gas station off the next exit. Can you add that to my navigation before my next supercharging stop? And it will. But Tesla, we got to keep going deeper. I want Grok to be able to control my system settings, my car settings. I want Grok to be able to say a certain lyric, a certain bar of a song, and it automatically finds the song and then adds it to my queue. Next up is going to be Tesla's photo booth. Strike a pose. There we go. It's going to use this interior cabin right here. Yeah, I don't think it's the best quality, and it's definitely more of a party trick. Oh, look, got a little... That's pretty cool. I actually haven't really messed with this. I doubt I'll ever actually mess with this. And as for saving it, you can actually go into your phone, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll be able to access photo booth and then download from there. Next is a live activity widget when using dog mode, and the temperature on the interior and exterior update automatically with no premium connectivity, but you will need premium connectivity for it to periodically update the snapshot that you see on the widget. Also, fun fact, this is not the first time that you've been able to access and see what the interior cabin camera sees. Actually, if you go in here to service and you go down here to camera preview, you'll see that you can actually access all the cameras around the car. The main cabin camera in here is a much wider POV than the cabin camera that's used for photo booth. So here we'll strike a pose again, let that load up. Yeah, so it's much more zoomed in, and it doesn't actually look like that you can zoom out. I'm actually having too much fun with this. Next up is gonna be the dash cam viewer, and this is actually like one of the heavy hitter updates and something that I would have never, well, I've thought about this before if they would add stats to the FSD dash cam when FSD is going, but no, they've just added it to the dash cam in general. And they've added a lot more stats than I thought that they would be able to add. And let's be honest, we all know why Tesla added this. It's to help stop the FUD from all the FSD stuff when people claim, oh, my car just didn't stop, FSD was on. Well, now you can show us receipts, right? So it'll tell you whether full self-driving is on. It'll tell you what gear you're in. Gear is in like drive, reverse, your Prindle. It'll tell what turn signals, your speed limit. It'll show where the wheel is. You know how the wheel on, at least it used to do this, the little FSD icon, the wheel would turn with the actual wheel. It shows whether you're pressing the brake or pressing the accelerator. And it looks like it can even tell how hard you're pressing in on the accelerator. But yeah, they definitely added this to combat all the FSD FUD and lies and stuff out there. And now if you have an event where you're trying to blame FSD and you don't have the dash cam recording, pretty much no one's gonna believe you. Santa mode also gets an update. Optimus is now Santa. You got a bunch of new visualizations. Whatever car you're in is what car shows on the screen. So now if we go into Santa mode, you'll see here. And if you don't know, you want to stop the song, just turn on your turn signal. As you can see here, it is my Model 3, and it does look like it's actually a performance as well. And when I say new visualizations, I don't just mean this right here. Also, like stop signs and stop lights that get rendered in here on the screen are like Christmas themed. They have like little decorations around them. Next up, we also have a new light show. I think it's called Jingle Rush, and you just have more like customization options for the people that do custom light shows. Paint shop, which is kind of like the other big thing in the holiday update and what S and X don't get. You can now customize your Tesla. Actually, let me turn off Santa mode here. Oh, it's still snowing. See, that's nice. I wish they had like different tiers of Santa mode where I could just make it snow, but I don't need all the other Christmas stuff. But yeah, for the paint shop, you can fully customize the Tesla you see on screen. It does transfer to the app though. I don't think the custom license plate transfer the app. Yes, you can do custom license plate as well, along with adjusting tint darkness. So here, if we go to tint, you'll see that I can now, this is pretty much what the car looks like in real life. As for those wraps, you do have some pre-made ones here. Oh, yo, hold up. Did y'all see that? Let's do that again. That is super sick how the animation. Oh, that's actually so cool. And you got different ones here. Well, I guess you can kind of get a Santa mode like this without all the other stuff. There you go. This is very obvious. A reindeer, red nose, Rudolph. You know what? Sure. Let's run that one. You can go here to your license plate, and oh, you even have a little Halloween one. We'll set the Christmas ones. Oh, so now you can adjust. Okay, I got you. So you can have the custom background and you can adjust the numbers. It may be a little hard to see, but I have S3XY with the custom background. We can change the color of the lettering as well. And yeah, in the app, while the wrap updates, the license plate does not. And then of course you can do your own, custom stuff right here, create your own. Same with the, yeah, right here, it actually links you to a GitHub page. You can fully customize all this stuff. Next up is navigation improvements. And no, it's not what you think. When I first saw this, I thought yes, because if you all don't know, navigation for me kind of sucks, especially on FSD, but it's not. You just get these new suggestion tabs beneath your navigation search and like where you would click home or work to like auto navigate there. We also have automatic HOV lane routing, which at first when it said that it would do it based on passenger count, I was like, what do they mean by that? Are they gonna use the interior camera? And yes, that's exactly what they're doing. Your route automatically takes the carpool lane. By continuing, you allow cabin camera above your rear view mirror, which is nice. It tells you exactly where it is, to detect the number of passengers in the vehicle. Cabin camera data is processed on the vehicle itself, so no one has access to it, not even Tesla. And allow. And then of course you also have your allow express lanes too. Next up is going to be supercharger site maps, which is exactly what it sounds like. Now this is only for select superchargers, but those select superchargers get this new fancy looking 3D render where you can see the amount of open spots, the amount of occupied spots, spots that are unavailable, if potentially it's a third-party electric vehicle that is charging in a weird position because some of them are at the front and they're actually taking up the wrong spot, BMW. Yeah, you can see all that now for select sites. On to the phone left behind notification. Your vehicle will chime a few seconds after the door closes if the phone key is inside the cabin or a phone is left on the wireless charger and no occupants are detected. Phone key detection requires ultra wideband supported devices. Pretty much all newer iPhones, Androids have ultra wideband, and all the newer refresh Teslas have it as well. Like I said, S and X do not get phone left behind, but they do get phone left on wireless charger. And then we have a bunch of other like little minor updates, like save charge limit by location. You could already do this for the amount of amps, but now it'll also remember the charge limit by location. You have a new SpaceX docking game. You can also now enable or disable the wireless charging. This is just for those hot summer days. The charging pads down here kind of make your phones overheat all the time. So now you can just turn it off. It's under the charging. If you're currently using dog mode and one of the doors is opened or a door is left opened, you will now get an alert. You now have the option on Spotify when you search a song to add it directly to your queue. Also, Spotify, like the UI has been updated to where you can scroll through larger playlists and albums and podcasts without like having to swap between pages, like go to the next page. This is all on one screen. If you are a rave cave enjoyer, you'll be able to come in here to light sync, and now you can turn on Rainbow Cave. The only prescription is more rainbows. If you like the Tron lock sound, but you don't want to be using Tron, you can come in here and set your thing to, I think it's called light cycle. Yeah, this right here. Yeah, that's it. So now you can just straight up use that as a lock sound instead. And then finally, you can enable charging data to be shared, which will give you access to your charging stats. I have spent a total of $400 and I've saved a total of $1,100 compared to gas in my area. As for the Model S, I did get my charging passport too. I'll have all my stuff on screen now for my charging passport. Pretty cool. I've spent a total of $216 this year charging my Model S, but I have saved over $1,400. Keep in mind, all my supercharging is free, and it does take that into account automatically within the app, which is nice. So I don't gotta tell it, hey, I have the Lux package, it just knows. But now on to the fun part, the hidden features, the undocumented changes, if you will. And some of these are actually, I don't know why some of these weren't in the release notes. First up is the car wash mode. It's been redesigned for easier operation and viewing, and it will auto pop up a little prompt that'll ask you, hey, do you want to turn on car wash mode when it senses, or I guess it's like geofence whenever you get close to like a car wash, and it'll ask you, hey, do you want to go ahead and enable car wash mode? To be honest with you, the car wash mode, we already kind of had a car wash mode that did pretty much the same thing that this does. The only real difference in terms of like making it easier is that the neutral button is a little bit bigger now. Speaking of prompts, another new prompt is that if the car senses your phone is playing music or just sound coming out of it and it's connected to the car, but like it's not filtering to the car, it'll ask if you want to switch it to your car's speakers, which you can then just tap and it'll auto switch. Now I mentioned that we ended up getting that new game. I don't even know where the game box is. Game that was added last year, the Boomerang Foo, has been removed. More than likely just licensing is probably expired. Now in addition to the other navigations we spoke about earlier, they've also now added your favorites as pins on the map. I think home and work was already pins on the map, but now favorites are too. Another little cool hidden feature is that if you go into safety here, you can now see, look at that, your dash cam storage. So now no more kind of just guessing. And it will also show a breakdown per category. So Century, saved, recent, and other. And in addition to that, Tesla has also added new filters when viewing dash cam footage. You can see here now that you have an aware filter if someone pulls on your handle, the panic filter, which I don't really know what that's for, manual save, which is what I always do. You can also sort by on honk, which is a setting. You also have your custom like plate and wrap here, and if you tap it, it'll automatically pull up, so that's also pretty cool. Yeah, almost at 20,000 miles. I held off on doing a 1 year review just because I planned on doing a 20,000 mile review because I was already almost at 20,000 miles. Enter, that's pretty cool. Wait, what is that? Wait a second. Is this like a little Easter egg? It makes all of the wiring in the car like Christmas lights. See, I'm trying to find it here. They made it to where you can turn off the airbags whenever you're doing safety or system restraint checks by parts. Oh, that's pretty cool. Explore the Tesla parts catalog to order original components for your repair. But that is your holiday update for 2025. All around, I think it's pretty good. Like I mentioned earlier, they added stuff that A, I would have never even thought of, but B, stuff that I wouldn't even thought possible. Still a bummer, despite S and X getting a refresh this year, that we're still being left out on certain things. In fact, I don't think Cybertruck's left out of any of this stuff, so I really do think it's just S and X. Let me know your all's thoughts on this update. Tesla, if you're watching this and you're taking recommendations for holiday update 2026, wipers, fix the wipers, please. We're like 5 years removed and the wipers still suck so much. Like they suck so bad. So if you could fix that, that could be the only thing on the holiday update list and I would be happy. So yeah, if you all are new around here and you want to see more Tesla related stuff in your YouTube feed, then feel free to subscribe. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I got to take this hat off because I think my entire head is numb. Yeah, I can't feel anything. I'm actually getting pretty lightheaded. I don't know how to end this. Yeah, I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. I also just realized you can see here phone left behind is on. Phone is on the charger and charging. Back it up. Got the window down here, so I don't know if it'll work, but it should. There it is. And there's a special screen for it. Also, two other things that I've found out. First is in photo booth, as you can see, I already have it pulled up here. Yeah, Plaid badge, whereas in the 3 you all saw it was the like blue performance badging. And then secondly, if you go into camp mode here, screensaver should pop on after about 10 minutes. There it is. So yeah, 10 minutes pretty much on the dot. Hang on, let me turn off this absolute heater. Yeah, I don't know if this was a thing before. I don't think it was. I think it was like this, but just without the Christmas lights. But I think this is a little hidden feature.